My name is Mavis. I'm 26 years old. I have fair skin, a slim build, long flowing hair that brushes the small of my back, and lips tinted naturally with a soft pink hue. People often tell me I'm beautiful. Strangers, friends, even family. Times those compliments felt like gifts. But lately, I've come to wonder if that so-called beauty is more of a curse. Because ever since my stepfather came into our lives, that word, beautiful, has begun to feel like a trap. Started subtly. A strange glance. A lingering look. An odd comment that seemed innocent on the surface but carried something else beneath. The moment that shattered all illusion came one morning when I was in the shower. I hadn't locked the bathroom door. I never used to need to. The water was hot, the room thick with steam. I didn't hear the door creak open until I felt a shift in the air. I turned my head, and there he was. My stepfather. Standing in the doorway. Silent. Staring. Froze. His eyes didn't flinch away. He didn't apologize. He didn't leave. And I didn't know what to say. After a beat I whispered, "Hello, Manuel," though my voice shook. He didn't respond. Just watched me for a moment longer before finally stepping out. That single moment has haunted me ever since. Because it wasn't the first time he'd crossed a line. And it wouldn't be the last. After my real father died in a tragic car accident 3 years ago, everything changed. The grief didn't just settle in. It rearranged the entire structure of my life. I lost more than a dad that day. I lost the one person who always made me feel safe. One day, I asked my mother if she ever planned to marry again. She didn't say much, just gave me a slow, thoughtful nod. But the silence between us said more than words ever could. I remember feeling a pit in my stomach. A quiet dread I couldn't name yet. 2 years later, she introduced me to Manuel. He was polished, charming, older than her by a handful of years, but still fit, still confident. My mother was 37 at the time. I was 23. From the very first meeting, something about him felt wrong. I couldn't put my finger on it. Just a tightness in my chest, a whisper in my gut. But he was polite. Friendly. Too friendly, maybe. I told myself I was imagining things. 3 months later they were married. It was a beautiful ceremony. The kind where everything looked perfect. And for a time I tried to believe it was perfect. I hoped having a father figure again might bring comfort. First he was warm. Attentive. Present. He played the role well. Oh well. But things started to shift. One evening, I overheard my mother on the phone with her best friend. She was talking about an upcoming business trip overseas. 3 months. She'd be gone for 3 months. My blood turned cold. When she confirmed it, all I could do was nod. I didn't want to alarm her, but inside I was screaming. Before she left, she sat me down. Gave me advice that still echoes in my ears. Just listen to him, okay? Do what he says, keep the peace. Something about those words felt off. Like she knew something. Or sensed it. Or maybe she was just tired. I don't know. But the moment she left, the mask he wore began to slip. 3 days in, the changes became more obvious. He started asking me questions no stepfather should ever ask. Casual conversations would take sudden, uncomfortable turns. Have you ever had a boyfriend? What kind of guys do you like? Do you sleep in pajamas or something else? I wanted to believe it was just awkwardness. Maybe a lack of boundaries. But deep down I knew better. He began entering my room without knocking. I told him not to. I begged him to respect my privacy. He never listened. Sometimes I'd catch him standing in the hallway, watching me move from my bedroom to the bathroom in just a towel or a nightgown. His comments were subtle but suggestive, just enough to make me feel disgusting, without giving me something concrete to confront. I felt hunted. I didn't know how to stop it. I was alone, trapped in a house with a man I no longer saw as a protector, but as a threat. Still one night, I gathered what little courage I had and confronted him. I told him I wasn't comfortable, that his behavior was crossing lines. He laughed. You worry too much, he said, like my fear was some silly little thing. like I was being dramatic. But I wasn't. One night we sat in the living room watching TV. I was exhausted and got up to go to bed. As I stood, I caught the way his eyes traveled down my body. Felt exposed. Undressed. I hurried off, told myself I was imagining it. That maybe I was just being paranoid. That night was warm. Too warm to sleep. I decided to take a shower before bed. I stepped under the stream, closed my eyes, let the water rinse the tension off my body. But then something shifted. Presence. An instinct. I opened my eyes, pulled the curtain back slightly. He was there. Standing in the doorway. Just a towel around his waist. I was paralyzed. I couldn't scream. Couldn't move. My mind raced with questions, but my body felt like it didn't belong to me anymore. I should have told him to leave. I should have reached for the towel. I should have done something. But I didn't. He stepped closer. And in the haze of steam and fear and confusion, he kissed me. I didn't fight it. I didn't push him away. I let it happen. And I hate that I did. Because that night, we crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. From then on, it became routine. He started coming to my room late at night. Quiet. Persistent. I didn't know how to make it stop. I felt like I was floating outside my body, watching this girl who looked like me get pulled deeper into something she couldn't escape. I hated him. But part of me hated myself more. Now my mother is coming home. And I'm terrified. What if she finds out? What if she feels it in the air? My mother isn't someone who forgives betrayal easily. When she's hurt, she doesn't cry, she burns. And I don't know what will happen if she sees what's been happening behind her back. I've been living in a nightmare. Torn between guilt, fear, and a strange emotional numbness. He has a hold over me. Like a spell I can't break. I look at him and everything else blurs. But then the shame sets in. The fear creeps back. And I remember who I am. Who he is. I can't do this anymore. I won't. Author's note. If you're reading this and you find yourself in a complicated, abusive, or dangerous relationship, please listen to that voice inside you. The one that whispers, "This isn't right." That voice is your truth. Don't ignore it. It doesn't matter how far it's gone or how long it's lasted. It's never too late to step away. Take back control of your life. To choose your dignity, your safety, your future. Love should never feel like fear. No relationship, no matter how tangled, justifies betraying yourself or someone you love. The longer it goes on, the harder it gets to walk away. But you still can. And when you do, you give yourself the chance to heal. You are not powerless. You are not alone. And you are worth protecting.